boom, we're here. Back again, like that, you know? So had to do a little impromptu getaway with the missus. You know, like that. Everyone that's got kids that's been away on holiday knows it's not really a holiday, innit? The kids are mad. Like, I actually got to do things like fall asleep by the pool and not wake up in cold sweats thinking someone's maddling my ute or something. You know, like you know. I know what they drowning and that. I could fall asleep and so I had to take a little break. So you know, like that, man's back. So that's why I haven't obviously had the content and that. I thought I'd give the whole gang a break, you know, like that. Everyone Roms-ish, everyone just chill out. But we're back, you know what I'm saying? And had to come shout out Ravi Bikram who was hitting me up while I was away and that. Do you know what I mean? Love to you guys, always there and that. I've got my GH brother, do you know what I mean? Like we're breaking all types of stereotypes out here. Do you know what I mean? Two goddamn brothers, bro, with a combined, do you know what I mean? Like skin tone of -25. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we're out here, bro. Got my guy Jerry James with me. What's going on, my guy?
Listen, I appreciate it, man. Being back, I call this like your second debut, innit? You've been back away from a while, and I'm blessed to be on the channel, man. Big up everyone in the chat as well. Everyone else, obviously, please smash a like. Make sure to subscribe to obviously Saint LFCTV as well, because listen, it's great. When it comes to watching, I think he's the greatest commentator of all time. You had it here first. To share platform with him, man.
Yeah, now come on, I try and keep it gutter, you know, like that. Try and, you know what I mean? Just keep it like seeing the man them, you know what I mean? No, but love, but he's mad humble in that. Real knowledgeable guy, doing big things himself. Just started up his channel, so please make sure you're going over to the Jerry James show and showing some love. Subscribe if you haven't. And he's doing some big work with Clock Talk TV. We've actually got a show patterned up that I was talking to Jerry about in the background, that we're gonna, do you know what I mean, give you a different look on this football thing, and I'm trying to give you that real content, you know what I mean? So stay out for it. Sometime next week we'll be putting something together. But yeah, now love, like Jerry said, love everyone that's in the chat. About 14-15 of you up in here already. Love for that. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. If you're new, you know, like that. Drop a super chat, you know what I mean? Support the channel and that. Much love. And we keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I don't even really, big up Elias each and every time, one of the first in here. Thank you. And my guy Jamie Phillips, well, I've been watching you whilst I've been away. You know, them ones there, keeping up the content. So love, come on, man. And like he says, and my guy Roms, well, go on, my G. What are you telling me? Slap the likes, man. Come on, like you said, man. I ain't even really got a mad plan today. We're just gonna chop it up. Do you know what I mean? We got a couple things to chop up. We're gonna talk about what's going. There ain't really too much going on with us, as
man. As per, bro.
As per. So I just made sure that we'll deal with that, and then we'll just start chopping up what's going on in the world of football, because a couple things are moving, and obviously these men are ops in it, so we've got to see how they're moving and what that's going to mean to us and others in the race. Welcome back, big man. Saint in the building. Love honesty, man. Come on, hope you're good. JJ, I see you. Sammy, I saw them Nunez goals and came back, bro. Hey, yo, come on. Sammy, trust me, I've been on Twitter calling certain man, you know. Certain man trying to talk ish. I'm coming for them, bro. So make sure you're following me on Twitter, innit? LFC_Saint. I've actually, I just realized I was talking to shout, I mean, shout out to Mrs. who just got me looking drippy and that. But we was just talking shirts and that at the back and the cost. And true say, man's got a little bet with Guna Lee in it. Make sure you're going over and subscribing to him as well. But that little pom, wants to talk mess. So I said, you know what, let's talk mess, innit? Like, let's do this. You're gonna slap more goals, innit? Nunez or Jesus of Nazareth, of North London. Like, who's doing that? You get me? So, and he says, he put up a top, because obviously their black thing's looking a bit shower and that. said, Jesus, that means we're going £99 in, like, you know, like that. But I'm in it for the pound, I'm in it for a penny. Let's go, you know, like that. Shout out them, man. There. Nunez, bro, I'm coming for your head top if I have to give if an Arsenal fan £100, you know. Like, so you better start slapping. But no, he's doing bits, and we're gonna get into that anyways. Josh T, big up Saint and Jerry. Hope you lads are having a good evening and start the weekend. Come on, Josh, man. Love. Big up yourself each and every time. Yeah, come on, Daz. You're here, yeah. Hey, yeah. It's
I said it. He's making me want to go and get it now. Listen, I'm on the website in the background. They got it, but it's stopped.
Hey, you know the pastel colours on the medallion and that. You know that man's coming out with a little suntan and that. You get a little pastel purple and that. Yeah, nah, big up that. Looking all right, but. Not gonna lie, the way Adidas are patterning off certain kits like this, they need to
comfort. They've comfort this season. They're
trying to give us optical illusion and that, and these men are giving us all like, bruv, they're giving us all. What's that thing that they got from Black Panther in that? Like,
the
Wakanda thing. They're giving us real black on black in that. Like, they need to pattern up, man. They need to sort us out. But still, West Ham just agreed a deal for Samaka, top signing for them. We're gonna get into that. Still, I didn't know that the deal has actually been agreed. Wow. So I'll look into that. Still, if it has done, that's a big signing for them. Still, they went in and one bid got rejected. So I know they must have gone in again. Still. Saint has a Liverpool player on his channel, mad thing. Trust me, you don't even know. Bro, I said, bro. Hey, I'm telling you, trying to do the light. He's not like he's trying to do us. It's cool. I see. I said, anyways. Big up. So let's get into it. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna start off. Yeah, I had to have Jerry on here because big up Marshall. My flight, you can imagine how pissed I was when I realized my flight was 6:45, bro. I was fuming. And I'm already, that means I'm an hour ahead of you, man, as well. I was like, oh, this is all techie, bro. I couldn't see none of that game. I was in the air. So I'm gonna kick it off to Jerry, really, and let me get your take on obviously the little preseason thing, the little thing with South. But how did you what were your thoughts on it?
Well, before the game, obviously we could see the lineup. We looked strong in it. I think obviously we had Adrian in goal. That didn't really, I wasn't too happy about that, because he's not going to play a lot of games. In my opinion, you just go and play the youngsters that aren't going to get. What
was my man's name? Because I was talking to you in the background. I was talking to you in a WhatsApp chat. What's my man's name that played in the Palace game?
Davis.
I thought he was all right, you know.
Yeah, he came on afterwards. He came on, I think, second half, or like just after. But yeah, like the lineup looked good. I think we started off really sharp. I think first 10, 15 minutes, like Salah was sharp. Bobby looking real sharp. There was actually a passage of play where he got the ball, nutmegged it through a man, and actually played the ball into Diaz. Diaz then obviously got the ball, but skinned his man and then popped it back. But you could see we were moving sharp. We were moving proper sharp.
Trust me.
We were looking good. After that, though, I think we faded. I think we faded a lot. Verge played a couple good long passes, but we were being a bit too direct. And from what I saw, Bobby ain't got the legs to press anymore, you know. That's not taken away from his ability, like his technical ability or his ability to move the ball and stuff. But he hasn't got the pace to get in behind anymore. So he comes deeper than he already did. And then on top of that, when we lose the ball now, he's not in a position to press and he ain't got the legs to get out. So the centre-backs have a lot of time to get on the ball. 100%. But I mean, Marshall's saying it there. He can't press the way he did. So he played all right. I think Thiago had a decent game. I think Fab and Naby were a bit meaty.
Was it after the first goal? I kind of seen that after we scored, then they kind of came into the they were
after we scored, because first 10-15 we were looking really sharp. After they scored, I mean, look, they didn't really threaten us like that. I know they had a couple chances, but it wasn't anything too great. I mean, they had Nkunku on the pitch and he didn't do up anything at all. Like, he just, like, listen, if we were copying a player based on that performance, I'd be very, very worried. he didn't really offer anything. He didn't look great at all. Like his link-up play weren't great. He getting in behind, he wasn't really good. Like he weren't great, but we were all right. I think when second half, I think that's when we turn it up a gear, and I think we changed our formation a bit. You saw Henderson playing almost as a 10 in that game, which was actually crazy to go and see. A lot of the time when we were winning the ball, winning it high up, and Hendo was the one, and he had Nunez in front of him with Carvalho and Diaz either side, which is actually quite interesting to go. I mean, no, Harvey Elliott and Carvalho either side, yeah, so we played really well. You could see that there was a much more of a plan. I still think, obviously, I'll get into Nunez. Bajcetic was crazy.
Oh, this is what I was going to get into. And this was only from the little bits that I saw. I said, who's my you?
Listen,
looking so
number 43 came on the pitch, and I was watching it, and obviously I was doing a stream along with Mont, and I was like, and Roms, and I was like, who's that? Then man started trying to tell me that it's Carvalho. I look how saucy is. That's Carvalho. I was like, it's not, man. It's not. We've gone and checked. It was Bajcetic playing. Now, obviously, it's surprising because we all expected Morton to be playing. Morton was the one that...
I'm not going to lie, yeah. I'm like, who? I'm not going to lie.
That's my point. Morton's the one that's been screamed about by Klopp. Oh, yeah, look, wow, number 8, crazy good. Wow, we don't need him to play in the 6 anymore. Wow, so great. Well,
but then we're going to loan him up.
Yeah, exactly. He ain't played that well. I mean, he's played all right, but he ain't played since. So, boy, I don't know what's going on there. But Bajcetic looked really, really good. Like, just this awareness of the ball, the scanning, the popping, the passing, the round the corner. Even for Nunez' goal. He won the ball real high up from the DM as well. Now he really he's
the man in there saying as well, like
he's the only midfielder. If I'm being honest, and I know I'm gonna say he's the only midfielder since Jones where I've looked at and I'm like, this guy's a baller in midfield. And we've had Clarkson in there, Morton, this brother, that brother.
Yeah.
He's the one player that I was like, he really impressed me. Milner had a really good game. Milner had a really good game at right back, and I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to see him. I know what he's gonna bring. Like, he had a good game. It was really good, but I don't care if he had a good game in pre-season.
This is true. And Cuckoo missed the one-on-one with Adrian. Wow.
It was flagged for offside, I believe, but he still missed it.
Jeez. He still missed it. One thing I will say is I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to say, like, oh, this is pre-season for us, and not say, like, it's pre-season, innit? And we've seen what he can do, innit? And everyone's like, if there's any time in a season where you can be, do you know what I mean, ironing out kinks, it would be this game, innit? But yeah, like you said, it's maybe one to look out for. But I'm not.
One to look out for, but will be interesting because
I
mean, we'll see if you can repeat it again this season. But Milner, obviously, in all honesty, I'd have preferred to play that Mabaya or Mayaba or whatever that right back was, that youngster that played in the first game against United.
Yeah, the right. He looks decent, bro. I think,
obviously, going forward, defensively weren't great, but you're in pre-season. Calvin Ramsey's not available. Obviously, we played Trent, and then Trent came off for Milner in the second half. But it's like, cool. You might as well play Mabaya then, because we know what Milner's going to give you. He's going to give you a 7 out of 10. Yeah. And even if he performs at his best, you know he's not going to be like that for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row, because he can't do it anymore. So it don't really matter. We know he can give you that performance. But I want to go and see what these next players can do. Do you get it? Yeah, so he had a good game. I think Hendo, he pressed really well. And I think Dow's, I think you're saying he's a ghost, but the reason why is because he was playing as a 10. If you go and look that game again, he was playing as a 10. Very different positions he was picking up. He's not going and doing the pressing and covering Trent at right back and stuff that Naby was doing in the first half. In that second half, it was a completely different type of shape, because Milner didn't get forward as much. He didn't come central as much, so he occupied that space that allowed Hendo to drift inwards more. So
one thing I like to say about certain man is, like, sometimes when a man is like, I said this to Roms, like, if a man, especially in certain positions, there's a difference between being a ghost and there's a difference between just being tidy. Do you know them ones there? Like, just being efficient and doing what you're not there to maybe, like, be so eye-catching, but you're facilitating play. Do you know them ones there? Like it's that, and sometimes like I can hear what you're saying, Jerry. It seems like he's just there facilitating play and being tidy and doing what he's supposed to do, not overdoing it. Not, do you know what I mean?
100%. Like a couple of times he done really well. There's a couple of times, I mean, he could have spread the play a bit earlier and released a couple man, but he done all right. I think a lot of the time he was breaking the ball well. Like he looked decent. He wasn't obviously standout, but he looked decent. Carvalho and Elliott though, they were serious. I think. Oh, sorry, Jones. Jones.
Talk to me.
I'm on the Jones bandwagon anyway. But guys, we gotta appreciate this brother. The way he keeps the ball, his intelligence, the fact that, and I've said it, he's the only midfielder from our academy since Gerrard that's broken in as a midfielder and stayed there. Name me another midfielder. Trent couldn't even break through as a midfielder, and he's the same age group as Jones.
Yeah.
Trent had to come into a right back. Like, I'm telling you, Jones was really good in that game. Like really, really good. Like made the right decisions, popped the ball off really well, kept it when he needed to, showed signs of just quality.
Where did he play?
Played in midfield. He played in midfield.
On the right?
Yeah, well, on the left.
On the left,
but it was weird. It was like Bajetic and Jones were the deeper of the two, with Henderson was almost in a 10. So it was
because Bajetic can do the 6 and
he's done the 6 basically. A lot of time he was in the 6. He played in the 6. Yeah, Bajetic played in the 6. So Jones had a really, really good game. I think the way that them three linked up, so Harvey, Carvalho, and Jones was really, really, really good. Like really good. I think Elliott's. I don't know if he's got a bit more pace now. I don't know what pre-season's done, but he's showing that he can potentially be an option at right wing. He's looking a bit more explosive. He can get past his man a bit more with his athleticism. So that's good. Carvalho, again, just showing he's a baller, innit? He's just a real baller. People obviously are saying it in the comments as well, like Coolion as well, saying, and Carvalho is our best sign in this window. Yeah, he's a baller, man.
100%,
he's a baller.
100%.
He's a baller.
I see the little flick on with the goal, and like
exactly. That's crazy. He's and the one obviously that we can obviously expand on, and I won't expand on it too much, but Nunez, man, I think I've always been on a Nunez train, and you man know this. Like everyone in the chat, people that have obviously come on like on my channel or see me on Big Six or even on Saints, I've been on a Nunez train, and I think what I liked about his performance was that he just got goals. I've seen so many of our strikers in those positions. They just don't get the goals. They just don't. They fluff their lines. They missed it. Every shot you could go and see, even there's a header that he went and missed. And you can just see this man's a goal scorer. And albeit, I think there's reasons to why we can delve into it, but he didn't have like the best, like all-round game. Like if he didn't score, you wouldn't have looked at that performance and been like, that was an amazing performance. Like we've done with Bobby and like we've done with like Mane even to a certain extent. But the goals he scored, it's the variety. It's the first one was a cross goal, side netting, boom. The second one was a tapping with his left foot. Do you know what I mean? Just ball comes across, he nips at it.
It's a poacher's goal, isn't it?
Yeah, poacher's goal, and he's showing us different ones. The last goal he scored.
Penn shouldn't have gone in though.
Yeah, obviously Penn. He scored a pen as well, but obviously that I think that broke the duck. Once he got the pen, I'm talking about open play. Even the last one was. Even the last one was a bit thing, but the fact he's opening up his body and trying to find the side netting, he's not just smashing the ball. And I've seen Salah so many occasions smash the ball, even Mane, just try hit it as hard as they can. He's trying to slot it, and I think that's why for me, I'm happy about it. And I think there's even a bit, and I talked about when the ball came in, he's jumped off for a header and you can see, he's a presence.
I'm gonna start this, Pablo. I'm gonna start this because we'll talk about Bobby still.
We'll do, man. Darwin, look. Nothing like I said, it's pre-season. I was gassing up yesterday. It's pre-season, but he's showing us that he can finish. He can finish, and I think that's the.
Look at all the Jones. Look at all the Jones fanboys. Look at all the Jones fanboys. I can't even say much because, like I said, I didn't watch the game, and so I'm having to just, them ones there. Man saying Harvey Elliott is absolutely mustard. You know them boys. They come on, Jamie.
He's mustard, lad. Yeah, he's
mustard. I've missed them ones there. Like me, I don't get to hear them ones. He's mustard. Yes, Jamie. Don't know. Guys, keep slapping those likes, man. I appreciate it. 23 man in here. Please smash the likes, man. Jones was greasy. Oh my days. Okay. I'm starting to. All right then. Is this the year for Curtis Jones then, lads? Boy, I'm not as big of a fan as Jones as Jerry. Well, I definitely felt like I've had to defend this guy to the hilt, like, of recent times. You know, them ones there had man telling me he's absolute crud. Obviously, man like Demo Dre would testify. Like, I've been in there trying to tell man, listen, like, I've been in spaces like, yo, this guy, yeah, there's a reason why I'm not on him, because when I saw him in the youth level, he was cold, doing all the things that people say he doesn't do now in terms of letting the ball go, not taking too much time, making the right decision, slapping. Bobby was cold, better than anyone. So then I'm like, and like you said, you're right. He's one of the only ones that has stayed on that trajectory to bust into our first team. Now that in itself is it takes time, do you know what I mean? It takes conviction. Man like Gruitch and them man there couldn't do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So
and that's like, got signing as well.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like there's I get it. But at the same time, I'm very I've turned into the man that I often like moan about. I've become a Generation Z. Like, I want it now, right now, you know, like that. And that's only, I've said this plenty of times before, whatever the case may be, you know what it is. But this Premier League, I need it now. Like, I don't have any time. So that's why certain times I'm like, do I have confidence in Jones to really do I have confidence in Jones? And One Touch will tell you, I've been bagging Jones to him. That's why he's doing this, saying, oh, is this Curtis Jones? Because I've been, Jones is that guy. Like, he's going to be levels. But I'm like, at the same time, I can't discredit the fact that sometimes I do get really frustrated with him. Sometimes he doesn't really show me what, like, I need. I'm out here having arguments with man like Don Hussam. Like, bro, Jones could be maybe top 5 technical players in our fucking. He's like, what? You're crap. You don't know football. And it pisses me off that your body of work would allow do you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I kind of do understand where he's coming from, that he can't see it. It annoys me because I'm like, brother, you have it. What are you doing? Like, do you know them ones then? So I have to then be like,
Yeah, I think with Jones, though, I think the problem you've got, and I've alluded to it a couple of times, is if Jones was playing for Arsenal, and he's part of that Arsenal squad, he'd be able to get 10, 15 games in a row if he's fit. Reason being is because he's got the confidence. And Arsenal fans, Liverpool Lee talks about all the time. Big up Liverpool Lee, innit? Make sure to check him out. Gooner Lee. Gooner Lee. But Gooner Lee will tell you, there's enough times they're going and talking and Saka didn't have a good game. He's been poor for 3 games in a row. You know what? Emil Smith-Rowe, like, he's not good enough, you know. All these types of players. That, bear in mind, Emil Smith-Rowe is broken into the England team as well. So we're talking about these types of players, Jones doesn't get that liberty, because what happens? He plays one game that's good and he's out of the team. If he plays a game and he's poor, he's out of the team for a longer stint. Klopp don't rotate the team like that, so you always know what the team's going to be. So you don't have the confidence. So what happens naturally as a player? You start wanting to go and do more because you're trying to go and assert yourself as in a position. I do believe 100%. If Jones 2 years ago were just told, you know what, this is your midfield now, isn't it? Just like Bellingham, because bear in mind, Bellingham was young, and we're not talking about developing these, man. We're talking about Bellingham coming in and being a starting midfielder. And do you know what I mean? They're similar type of age, but the difference between Bellingham and stuff is, of course, Bellingham's a very, 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 very good player as well, but he plays week in, week out. And I'm telling you now, we don't watch the Bundesliga. There's been enough games, I'm telling you now, where Bellingham's been poor. But we don't see it. But he's allowed to develop. Jones and all our young players, bar Trent. And Trent was able to develop at right back because we didn't have a right back because Klein was injured. And he was forced to play. So there was enough games. Remember the United game? He got tore apart by Rashford. If Klein was available and fit, or we had a fit that first team right back, Trent would have been dashed somewhere again, and we would have slapped in our first teamer, because he wouldn't have been given a chance. Because I agree with you, we want to win now, innit? We want to win now. We need to win now. We're competing against City, so it doesn't give Jones or our youngsters the environment to go and do that. But for me, I do feel like you give some of these young players, like even like a Carvalho, yeah, you might be sacrificing winning the league this year, and I don't want that. But it doesn't look like we're bringing in a midfielder anyway, so you might as well play these guys 20 games in a row and see where you're at the end of the season. Because to me, if you're finishing third,
that's a big shout, you know. That's a big shout.
Because if you're finishing second, third, or fourth, it doesn't really matter. If you've got Champions League, you've got Champions League. Yeah. Think about it. If you're telling me we're not winning the league, and I don't think we're going to,
I hear that.
You might as well give these brothers a chance, because it means that in 2 years' time, these brothers are so comfortable, so cold, they're so used to the culture, they've got their confidence, they've got the experience. Now you've got the squad where you got Jones is hard. Look at Foden. Foden plays week in, week out. That's why he is where he is. But if Foden didn't play, he'd have to go. He'd have to go away somewhere. Otherwise, he wouldn't get the chance. He wouldn't get the chance, man.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. I just don't. The thing is, like, I don't know. I hear where you're coming from, but I just, in my heart of hearts, like, it's mad that Assad said this. Assad, you're on crack. I know what you're saying. I know where you're coming from. I know what you're trying to poke in it, yeah? I hear if you don't win the Premier League this season, then Klopp should just walk out of pure humiliation and respect for himself. But this is why. This is the type of chat in which I'm like, bro, I need it. I need this, because you're too good of a manager and we're too good of a team in order for us to be in this situation. But I can't feel like I'm going into the season conceding it, even though we don't have the midfield in which I'm mad, because I'm still going in like, we can do this if you say we can do. You know them ones there, like no, big man, I'm gonna fucking corn you if and when we don't. But because you're so good and you know what I want, and there's so many men that have told me that I don't know whether Klopp is looking to dominate or just compete. Man are like, how could Klopp be satisfied with where he is and knowing that he can't be? So I'm like, I hear you. If you're going into the season, stupidly or not, I feel like we can do a thing. I'm not going to say that, do you know them ones there? Like, because you're going into this, you know what I mean? This is something you're doing. Like, if you're going to use them, man, you're using them, man, because you know that they're fucking ready. Not because you're going to use them in such a pivotal season and then, like, it's one or the other. You can't play. Do you know them ones there? Like, deal with it. But
100, and I agree with it as well. Like what you're saying, it's a tricky conundrum, because you've got the whole, do you want to win now and get the midfielders that are gonna like you're gonna win now with, and get the players that you're gonna win now with, or do you go and build for the future? But you've got to pick one, because like with a Jones, if you're telling me if in this season coming up, if Jones isn't playing regularly, like week in, week out, like playing, or Elliott's not playing week in, week out, where we're looking at, he's just a starter and he ends up playing 30 games in the Prem. If that don't happen, then I'm looking at Klopp and I'm looking at Liverpool saying, you've bottled it. You've bottled it because you don't rate the players. Clearly, you don't rate the players enough. And you're still playing Thiago against Burnley and against Nottingham Forest when I don't want to see him play, because we've got Champions League around the corner on the Tuesday. Do you get it? I don't want to go and see that. So if he's going to go and play week in, week out, cool. I don't mind that. You're trusting the players. But from what Klopp showed me, he don't play these players, because we've seen it a lot of times where you've even probably said it. You don't rate Jones, but you said, play Jones here. We don't want to see this player. Play this brother. Why not play Tsimikas? But then Tsimikas don't play. Do you get it? Like, that's the problem you got with me. So you either get a midfielder that's done and ready, and you know, it's cool taking the place, or you go down the route with the youth. But then you got to concede that if you do that, you might go and fall off, because they're not going to give you consistency. Like, it's the way it is.
It's annoying that we're here, because, like I said, we're so fucking close, bro. You know, them ones there, we're so close that we could just pattern up what we need, deal with it, and then deal with these youth like Man City did with Foden, and just drip them dry. Do you know what I mean? And then boom, like, because we've got some joke thing. But all right, let me get into the comments, man. Big up everyone that's still in here. Make sure you hit that like I've said, subscribe if you haven't. Please just do that. Hit that like now, and it's so fundamental for especially small channels like us, man. And it's so easy for you, man, to do. So come on. Jamie Phillips has got his Premier League predictions next Friday. Do you want in? That sounds good. Count me in, mate. We'll talk. Nunez. All right, let's see, what does we can do a thing exactly mean. Just so we're all clear. We can do a thing. What do you mean? Don't try and bait me out. Big up yourself, Ladimus. But we're Liverpool, bro. We're the only ones. That really mount up a challenge to Man City. What I would like is it for it to be more than a challenge. But if I say we can do a thing, bro, you know exactly what I mean, innit? Whether or not it happens, that's why I said we can, innit? I just don't know whether it's actually gonna happen. But I'm looking at Chelsea. We're getting on to Chelsea in a second, but I'm looking at you, man. Like, when are you not gonna actually, big up your chest a little bit and say, yo, actually, like,
back your manager,
back your manager, because he's getting backed, and say that, maybe third isn't the glass ceiling. Maybe we can actually bust through. Like, no, everyone wants to. Okay, all right, we'll get there. Jerry's right. You ain't winning the league this year, to be fair, so he should just give Jones a run. Foden did get games in a row to start with for a while, to be fair. Jones has had enough opportunity. That's the thing. He has had opportunities, but not, I hear what Jerry's saying, not consistently, but he has had opportunities, like, definitely. All right. Big Les is on this thing, innit? So let's get into it. Before I get into Mateus, let me just finish off with the Nunez, because like I said, I didn't see him, but I did see the goals, and I've said, listen, it's good that he's got off to do you know what I mean, off the board now. I do think we're going to see the best from him now. With confidence will come. That's what he needs, innit? It's confidence, and he'll grow into it. It is pre-season. We still need to give him some time, because he's still not, them ones there. It's still, like I said, I'm going to keep the same energy. He keep the same energy for when he was when he was scud, and now that he's scored. Like you said, obviously the link-up play could be a little bit better, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not really here for that. Bobby is the legs are eroding. Them ones there, like the legs are definitely not there anymore, which is, it ain't even a bad thing. It's like, brother, you're not only human. Them ones there, if you were still moving at the pace in which you was, like I've said, like, a lot of our success has been built off of Bobby's legs. Them ones there, he's been one of the 100%. First. So it's understandable. But if you're the case, if you can't press like you once was, then I'd like you to maybe then stop having to do so. And then you can do link up play, and them ones there, and we've got other players that can be creative and help. I would just like a man to be in as much confidence and form as he can be, so that he's just yamming up all of that stuff, and do you know what I mean? Through balls, just get it to him, through, boom, boom, boom. And the thing is as well, what I will say is we as a team need to start doing that, because we have never done that before. It's not just on him, it's on us as a team to adapt. Do you know them ones there? Like, we have to now, like, there's certain, not in this game, because again, I didn't watch it, but the one beforehand in the Palace game, or not even, I think in the
United.
Yeah, it wasn't in the United game. There was ones where, like, that he passed it off to Robertson, ran, was like, yo, bring it back here. And Robertson didn't even look at him, because it's in his mainframe. Look up, send that ball over. Do you know? And it's like, I'm like, we're gonna have to like unlearn some of the patterns of play that we're so fucking used to. Do you know them ones there?
Yeah, it's mad. Like that's actually a mad point. And the thing is as well, and I think you've said it, and it came to my attention yesterday after the game, after it was all said and done. I sat there and I was like, something still looks a bit off with Darwin, yeah. I was like, something's off. And I was like, it could be the build-up play. But I was like, I don't think it's that. Because I think people are over-exaggerating. I think when you micro-analyze anyone, we can micro-analyze any player. If we micro-analyze Salah, he's got the worst touch in the Prem. Do you get it? But that's not the case. So
touch runs away from him.
Exactly, runs away from him all the time if you want to analyze it. But I sat there and I thought, I'm scared. And the reason why I'm scared is because I'm seeing a lot of similarities between Origi and Nunez. And what I mean by that is they don't seem involved in, like, they're not the focal point of the team. Even though they're playing number 9, they're still not the focal point. And these strikers, they thrive when they're the main man. Just like a Drogba thrives when he's the main man, or a Lewandowski, or whatever. Even a Lukaku. Forget how bad Lukaku's been and stuff. Lukaku thrives when he's the main man. When everything goes for him, you give it to him, he sets off, he spins in behind, the ball comes out wide, it goes back into the box for him to score. With Nunez, that's not the case. Like you just said, Robbo's getting the ball. Instead of finding him again and playing off him like a focal point, Do you know what I mean? He's looking to go and switch into Salah. He's looking to switch it into Salah. So when he's doing that, I'm looking and I'm like, we said the same thing about Origi. And now I'm confused. I'm like, we had an Origi. Why didn't we play him? Like we've got a player that's not used to the system, but has a very, very similar style of play to Origi. Maybe a better finisher, but whatever. He's got a very similar style of play to Origi. We're not really changing our system too much to fit him. It's like he's got to fit us and he's got to fit our 4-3-3 and he's got to do this and do that. And you can see it's got that Origi feel about him where it's just you've put Origi somewhere on the pitch and you're like, yeah, do something for us. But it's not like he's part of the team. And you see when Bob plays, or you see even when Mane plays, it's like they're all part of the team. You could see, he's the focal point. We give it into him. He's going to set it out wide. We give it back to him. He threads it into Salah. The movement's there. With Darwin, and I know we're acclimatizing, but it's a bit like something's still not right. Now, I know he got the 4 goals and he's going to get goals, but it just doesn't seem, I don't know how to explain it. It's that same, you said it about Origi enough times, you said it, and it just made me think. I was like, Saint was actually saying this about Origi. And it's just, I don't get it, man.
Am I mad for this comment, yeah? I think Origi is a better quality finisher, but Nunez is a better finisher. Like, do you know what I mean? He's more potent. He's I feel like Nunez will score more goals than Origi ever could. But when you deep the actual type of goals, like,
yeah. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
The variety of goals, like Origi might score from outside the box. He might do this. He might do that. He might do a little.
I've seen,
little twisted up goals. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? We'll take on the top. We'll slap. We'll fucking. He's a better quality finisher, but I think that Nunez will bang you more goals. Do you know what I mean? He's more proficient in that box. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing him scoring. I want to see a lot more goals, like his second and third goal. Do you know them ones there? Like, that's what I want. Do you know them ones there? Turn, finish. Do you know them ones there? And we play the third goal. I want to see more goals like that, where we're actually looking for. Do you know them ones there? Looking to play a little bit Man City-esque, if you know what I mean. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, not
I
just
agree.
Hitting it to the corner and then looking to slap it over and doing crossing inshallah, and do you know what I mean? Like, we've got
exactly 100%. But even here in the comments, like they're saying, obviously,
the comments are flying. Sorry, man, I'm gonna get through to them.
Like Co-op, obviously, big up. You're saying obviously Origi isn't as aggressive like Darwin. I agree, he's not, and I'm not trying to say they're the same type of player, but just like Asad gone and said, Origi could have got 10 to 15 goals last season.
Bro, how many times did I say this?
Those 10 to 15 goals could have brought you a league title. And that's what I'm talking about. And what I don't understand, imagine we had, let's say we had a Kante type of DM, which is short, but he's busy, right? He's not going to win you a lot of aerial balls. He's not like a Yaya Toure or Busquets or Fab. He's not Fab. But we went and said, no, we're not playing Kante. We're playing Morton because he's taller. We're not playing Kante. We're not playing him. And you can see the quality in there, but he's not playing him. And then the season after, you go and buy whatever other midfielder that plays like him. And it's like, what's going on? Like, I don't get it.
No, I get it, Jay.
It's like, why did we get a Nunez if we had an Origi but didn't want to play him?
Bro, I said this, bro. I said this plenty of times. But I don't know. And you're right, man. It's not Origi, it's King Origi. Sorry, Lord. You know, like that. Different Darwin will play regularly. Origi never did. But this is the problem. Why is that? Do you know them ones there? Like, what's going on? And if we're saying that Nunez's link-up play is so meaty that we don't need him to do the link-up play, we'll facilitate it with having other creative players around him, then that kind of negates Origi's thing where they used to say, but he don't really work hard. What the fuck do you need him to work hard for if all you want him to do is do the same thing and slap goals? I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense, bruv. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. It's not mathing. The math ain't mathing. As I told his football ability wasn't all that. His link up wasn't all that. Him and Darwin are almost identical in profile, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. question: how do you think Nunez will cope with the low blocks in the Prem? I just don't think it's all on him. I think it's how do we cope as a team? How are we going to? Because at the end of the day, if you're playing low blocks, you're gonna have to draw them out. Do you know them ones there? And that's why I would have liked someone going back to the whole midfielder, someone who had the ability, and not just the ability, but because Ox has the ability. But how many men are really going to come out of their position to close Ox down? But do you know what I mean? I want a man who has fear. Do you know what I mean? Or who's so creatively inept on the ball that, like I said, it moves a man because they have to go close on a man because they don't want him to have that flair. What does that leave? Space. And then before you know it, man's running off the ball, we're passing what, and then Nunez has all the space, you know what I mean? We're playing the through balls to Nunez and you can go and do what you're doing. Do you see what I'm saying? We're not having to leave it to Salah to have to do up, you know what I mean, roll over the like stud rolls to do up 4 man. We actually do you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's just all on Nunez, but it's us as a team. That's how I think about it. What you think, Jerry?
100%, like 100%. It's a team thing. I think the best way to look at it is just look at our neighbours in City. The reason why they're able to break down low blocks is a system thing. They keep the ball for so long and they stretch the play out so wide. Their wide players like Mahrez and Sterling stay really, 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 really wide. So it means the fullbacks got to stay really wide. If you look at our forwards, they're always really narrow. So the team bunches up more, which means that the only space that is out there is out wide. And that's why you get Robbo and Trent always crossing
overlapping.
They've got space.
You know what I mean?
They've got space. That's why when Hendo picks up the ball in that right-hand side channel, he can play that ball, that first-time cross, because he's got space to go and do it. With City, it's completely different because they stretch out the pitch, which means that, Sterling and Mahrez won't get as many goals as Salah does because they're not in the same positions. But the team is able to break down that low block easier. And you see it. You see it when they play. I think Nunez helps with that, though, because if you've got a person that's a poacher, he's going to be in and around there. So when the balls come fizzing in, bang, he's there. Just like you spoke about, that kind of CES. When the ball comes fizzing in, who's there? Bang, Nunez. When the ball comes in the air, now you've got an actual aerial threat that can actually score. We're not relying on some ridiculous Mane leap to go and just smash a header in when he's at 5 foot. Do you know what I mean? 8 going up against a centre back that's 6'5". This doesn't make sense. Now you've actually got a striker that can compete with them, man, and put them off. And I think that's where you need, though. That's where you what you alluded to. That's where you need a creative midfielder. And Carvalho's done that well, to be fair, when he's like in pre-season.
That's what Court says, that Harvey and Fabio will be key to combating a low block. I think he's right enough.
Exactly. Carvalho, especially, though, he's following up all those little things, and you saw it even what he done at Fulham. Mitrovic, he's a target man, so he's even more so. He's not going to press, but he stands there. When the ball comes in, what happens? He gets the flicks, he gets the knockdowns. Who's there to follow up and do that Lampard kind of esque third runner from midfield? It's Carvalho. I think Carvalho's going to get a lot of goals at that, where the ball gets set down, it's bobbling around, and he just smashes it in. And I think that's the way you do go about it. Because at the moment in time, we haven't got like a De Bruyne that's going to create something out of nothing. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know where my Vaseline is, but my lips are looking mad dry. I'm looking all crackheady and that, looking like all Dave Chappelle.
I'm looking at it like,
I'm telling you, I'm looking my little looking all white. What's going on? And Deco, my guy, good question, right? As of right now, because to be very honest with you, he might have asked this question a few days ago. We wouldn't have seen. Like what's his face? Midfield bunny, Balichek or whatever. Bayetic, yeah. Bayetic, you know what I mean? So, but as of right now, from what you've seen on pre-season, let's do the starting lineup for Fulham. Alisson, Trent.
It's got to be.
Trent?
Yeah.
Trent. And then I'm gonna say it's a tough one, you know. I don't really care either way, and it's crazy to even have that. Like, you know, that one's there, man, ain't gonna bite your head off either way, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Kanate, I'm cool with. Matip, I'm cool with. I'd probably say Kanate, maybe because of Mitrovic.
I'd go Matip.
Do you know what I mean? You go Matip. Either way.
Yeah, I think Matip. I think when we've got the ball, I think there's actually not a better centre back in our team, and that's including Virgil. When we've got the ball, in terms of being able to break down, that helps breaking down low blocks. And I can't see them trying to just go blow for blow and try attack that pause. Do you know what I mean? I can't see them trying to go and do that. Like if they did, then I can see it like a Konate. I think Konate, like in the Real Madrid game, I think that's a good kind of matchup. I think Matip's really, really intelligent, so I think he can deal with Mitrovic.
100%. Yeah,
I think with the ball, he's just a tad better. He's just a tad bit better.
Yeah,
I'm not too fast either way. I think I think Klopp does play Konate though.
You reckon? I think Klopp plays Matip. I'm not gonna lie. So listen, it is what it is. It's a great feeling. It's a great place to be, isn't it? Cool. And VVD in it. Let's be honest. Simicast for me.
Really?
Yeah. No long term. This is one of the ones where like I really, yeah. Simicast starts the season for me.
I think Robbo. I think he plays Robbo. I think.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, go on.
This comes from my guy Don, innit? Because this is one thing that I do agree with. What was the last game that Robbo played outstandingly? You're like, no.
The way you looked at me there, brother.
Oh, I'm just I'm just.
Bro, you looked at me like you're moving to a road. And where is you from, bro?
Where's my money, bro? Where's my money?
Not bad, no. I can't tell you. I can't tell you, man. I can't tell you.
Hold on. Simi is better. No, we're not gonna do the better thing. It's not a better thing or whatever. Like this is another one of the positions. I'm so glad that, brother. If you try and do this for right wing, it gets technical. Do you know what I mean? This is a position that I can actually do. Like, do you know what I mean? Horses for courses and that. Like, it's not a case of like. No, I just generally think that Robbo's been overused. Robbo's tired, and Robbo needs some competition. And I also feel that Simicast brings something that Robbo doesn't. You see, when Simicast checks a man, they actually lose their footing because they're like, oh shit, because he can actually check back on his right and ping one beautifully, that. So when man gives the shoulder, they're like, oh, baffles, create space, and he carries on moving, and all of a sudden he's got. Ask Robbo to do that. No one ain't flinching, rude boy. No one ain't flinching because we know what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out my real ballers that know what I'm talking about. Like, no shoulder fake. Get the fuck out of here, rude boy. I know where you're going. Like, and it's
like, give him that space. You do this. Go on.
You know what's there? Like, it just offers something different. You know, them ones there. And
I fully agree, man. Like, I fully agree. I don't
want it to seem like I'm shitting on Robbo.
No, you're not. You're not. No. You're still waiting. Yeah, Robbo's Robbo. But do you know what it is? I rate Simicast. I do. I think technically, he's better than Robbo. Let's be honest, he is. But defensively, Simicast he's a bit. I don't know. He lacks that bit of athleticism. He's more of an Alonso than like a. Robbo's more like a Walker. Not to say he's as fast, but he's
I know what you mean.
And Simicast is more of like an Alonso, very, very good technically, but I do feel sometimes that defensively, like he does lapse, and first game of the season, do I need him lapsing? Do we need to start on the back? I don't know. I think, look, Milner's never slapping Robbo in it to switch on. He's never rasping him across the head, telling him wake up. But Simicast got that done to him. Milner slapped him up, told him to wake up. But that epitomizes Simicast for me. Because I remember in that game, he actually put a good ball in. He went back to defend and got slapped. That's a mad position to be in.
Yeah, but then you gave me game consistency for Jones. And you don't think the same could be said for Simi?
No, it could be. Now, you know what? It could be. But I'm talking about that one game. I'm talking about that same way I wouldn't play Jones in that first game. Like I wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? But 100%.
Like I hear where your point is valid because of lack of game consistency.
100%. That's
because
what it is.
If he had game consistency, I rate Simicast for that slap to have rocked him to not have to do that. You know them ones there. In the next game, you see him. He wouldn't do that. And then, do you know what I mean? He'd learn from that, and then he'd get on.
He didn't play the thing is,
we don't see him exactly. So the point is valid because we're like, right, he could. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, again. But yeah, I would go with Simi. To be fair, I would go with Simi. And like I said, I just want Robbo to be like. I feel like the best we had in Robbo is when we got Simi and Simi played and then he came back. I thought we got the best out of Robbo. I just feel like he needs a little boot up the arse and some chill time, man. Do you know what I mean? All right, cool. Midfield. Flacco?
Yeah, I mean, we ain't got anyone else unless we're gonna play Bayetic, innit? Or like Hendo in the 6, but I can't. That's just not gonna happen, bro. That's just not gonna happen.
I'm gonna say, me personally, I'm gonna say Flacco, Thiago, Elliott. I don't think we play Carvalho in the first game of the season against his old team.
I don't think we play Elliott.
I'm just trying to think in it. I know it's Hendo in it. I'm just trying to think. Bro, hey, slap the likes, guys. Come on, please.
Listen, hey. the biggest tell factor in that one, is Elliott's been playing right wing. Who do you think's the replacement for Salah?
Yeah.
He ain't been playing in centre mid. He hasn't. But he hasn't. Right. Even in the game when Ox got injured, Ox was playing out wide, and Elliott was Ox was Ox was playing in midfield, and Elliott was out wide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, do it is. I'd like to see Elliott. I would, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see.
Yeah, I know. I was capping, bro. I just said Elliott. I know it's gonna be Hendo. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Fab, Hendo, and Thiago. If I'm honest with you. But who would you put in your midfield? Been saying this as well, Assad. Trust me, brother. Been saying this.
100%. Do what it is just based on like I need to come at chest out, innit? Chest out. So for me, I gotta play Jones in midfield, man. I believe in it, brother. So you gotta go and play him. Give him a run of 5 games. If he's dead, don't play him ever again. Shot him. Do whatever. But you gotta make a decision. None of this. You're drawing him out, and then he's gonna end up like Lingard, where he's 29, and man are still calling him a youngster and a prodigy in that. Do you get it? Like he's either good enough or he's not. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
So
no, I get it. I agree. And then what? Diaz, Nunez, Salah?
I don't think Nunez starts.
You don't think Nunez starts now?
Nah, no in Klopp. I'd want that to be the case. Similar thing. You play him in it.
I want him play him exactly. Like give him. He would have had the preseason. He would have then play him.
Yeah, play him, but you know it's going to be in it. It's going to be on number 9.
Yeah,
Senor. He's playing up front.
Let's quickly spend 5 on that. Coming back to Pablo's question, I started. So let's have a quick 5 on C Senor. I'm gonna kick it to you. What's your thoughts?
Like Roms likes to say, innit? In the wise words of Claude, R.I.P. It's time to go.
To go.
Time to go. Listen. Nah, look. Respect for everything he's done. He's great. Like all of that, but he's not accustomed to playing the 10 or the 8 anymore. He's not. Well, he can't play the 8. The 10's still in question, maybe. Going forward, I mean, as a striker, he's not great. As a false 9, he hasn't got the legs to press anymore. He can't really finish. He's playing really deep. He's someone, I think, that we can have him there. And you know, sometimes when we just got to reset and just go back to what we used to do, where everyone knows how to play the false 9 like system. So when things go when things go to shit or whatever, then it's just like, yeah, play Bobby, because you know what you're gonna get out of him. And he might come up with something great, but I think the sample size is big enough now to know, like, he's just not, like, he's coming to the tail end, innit? Unfortunately, like, you know, some players, it just happens with forwards that he's just coming to the tail end. He's not the same player he was 2-3 seasons ago. Unfortunately, he's not like Salah. He's not like Mane, where they're just really, really robust. He's just not. And he's played in this system longer. He's been on the clock for longer. So yeah, I think it's time, man. I think you wouldn't want to go and see it, like especially this season because we already lost Mane. But if someone came in with like 30 mil for me, I think you take it, man. I don't think you're gonna get. I don't think you get more for him next season. I don't think you do, and I don't think he deserves getting his contract renewed unless he shuts me up with his performances this season. But as it stands now, I'm not really rating him, unfortunately.
Oh, mate. Yes, it's a tough one, you know, because like I said, I really do believe that a lot of our success is built on his legs, built on his the way in which he adapted that number 9 role to, do you know what I mean? Wasn't conventional, and he made it his. It was a very like it's mad, but ultimately, I do think you're right, bro. I think like in a system that is now a good few years on, I think he's becoming more and more surplus to requirements. Like you said, in the number 10, I put him there, yeah, just because of how technical he is, and do you know what I mean? But in all honesty, I'd way prefer to see Carvalho in that 10. I'd way prefer to see like other man in that 10 over him. Do you know what I mean? Which makes me feel like, then what are we doing? Do you know them ones there? If I'm honest with you, I think I prefer Jota in the 9 over him, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I would.
And we're probably gonna die, like.
We're probably gonna
like I don't care, bro. I'm a real football man, but I would, bruv. Like I prefer Jota in the 9. He offers more, you know. Them ones there, like so. Well, he offers more in terms of goal scoring. And to be fair, I don't even think Jota's link-up play is actually as bad as people try and make out to be. People weren't talking when he first joined and was bang. People weren't talking link-up play. Do you understand? So yeah, I think you're probably right. If I'm all honest with you, I think Bobby is probably. I think we might be on a cheeky one looking for. If we don't get like a 30 miller, then he stays and he plays out his last. He definitely for me don't get no type of
contract extension.
Nah. It's a sentimental thing, isn't it? We do the.
It's like even like look when he's in the 8 and he's playing, like cool. You ain't got the legs and stuff, but you know I think Bobby's passing. I think it's a bit overrated. It's not like De Bruyne's. You know when De Bruyne is feeding a man, or even Bernardo Silva, those passes are like boom, and then just, or even Thiago, bang, and it's cutting through the team and it's slicing man open. A lot of the time, Bobby does everything right. He drops the shoulder, turns a man, he nuts. You know what I mean? Nutmegs a guy. Tries to spread the ball, and it's under hit or it's over hit, and he's not the best passer of a ball. He's not. Like let's just be honest.
And as the 8, to be very honest with you, I'm just tired of seeing a man try and do round the corners outside of my box and shit. Like, what are you doing, brother? You know, them ones there, like, brother, this is not the time for Brazilian sauce, bro. Do it 20 yards up, brother. Like, that's, it's all long. All right. Best we saw of Valverde did to Robbo Champions League final as a counter. But we saw, what about, bro? I know, but a lot of people are going. I think there's a lot of Simicast debate in the chat still. But you know, it is what it is. All right, so I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah. I don't really know a hell of a lot about this Matheus Nunez guy, yeah. And I've seen bits and bobs, but I feel like a lot of people are very scared to say that. You know, the ones there, like, I don't really know.
I've seen one compilation. I've seen one compilation on Twitter. That's it. Like, I can't tell you anything about him.
Are you? What's your thoughts on it? Are you happy just because it's someone new and that someone? Do you know what I mean? Something could happen, or are you a bit like?
I think it's just Liverpool fans online and just making up rumors just to get themselves excited and knock one out before they go to bed, bruv. Bruv, that's the best way to describe it because we've heard it from the horse's mouth. He said we're not getting any midfielders. He said, "Wow, Morton." He said he reeled off.
All right. He said, "Wow, Morton," then loaned him. Yeah. Ox might. What if Ox goes to West Ham? Then what? You still don't reckon we're getting? You reckon
who popped up in midfield in the last game? You think? Listen. The fact that we're still, do you know how desperate we are as a fan base? The fact
desperate.
Imagine, it's mad. We're like the brother, yeah? Listen, we're like the brother. that he keeps trying to move to a girl and the girl's saying, I'm not interested, I don't like it. And you're trying to tell yourself, no, she's only playing hard to get. She's only playing hard to get. It's been years.
Man. But what? We can't be friends. Well, we can't chat. You don't have to have friends. Nah,
bro, and the thing is, and it's happening, and she's telling you, nah, I'm not interested. And you're telling yourself, nah, she's only playing hard to get because, yeah, like that time then when my pencil fell down or like at work, she picked it up. So I know she's testing me. She just, nah, man, look, Klopp's not signing a midfielder. He's comfortable. And that's the scary thing. So all this that nonsense, I'm not even engaging in it anymore. And I think it was funny. As soon as the rumors started to ramp up, James Pearce tweeted later on and just said, I've heard from official sources that the Matthias Nunez talk is garbage. It's dead and buried. It's nonsense. Bro, it's just not happening, man. Like, the only way we go and get a midfielder for me is if Milner was still... If Milner had gone, I think we get a midfielder.
Yeah.
Because I think Milner's, like, he's part of that midfield bench. Yeah, I mean...
Shout out Ish, yeah? Shout out Ish that said this, and I thought, this is so right. He's like, our midfield is mad bloated and mad, like, it's mad thin at the same time. Like, how is that? Some fucking oxymoron shit.
You know, bro. I am brewing in the morning and that, and they're skinny, but they got a mad belly. Like. It
don't make sense, bro. It's mad bloated, bro, but it's mad thin, bro. It's crazy, bro. Like,
do it is because we're looking at our players and like we know either Klopp's not going to play them or we don't rate them and they're not good enough. Naby and Jones and them, man, like whatever. Like that's what it is. You're looking at it and you're like, yeah, we've got these players, but do you want them playing? That's the problem. It's not we're looking at it saying we ain't got any midfielders. We don't rate the midfielders that are there. Let's just be honest. Exactly, we don't rate them because we know Klopp doesn't rate them because he don't play them.
100%.
That's the problem, man.
All right, so that's us. We you know what I mean? Let's spend a quick 20 on the ops and that. What's some of the best signings you think that's happened so far? What's like, yo, you know what? Because I'm not gonna lie, yeah, man. No, like I'm from Northwest and that, so kind of Arsenal, kind of 95% of my reg is an Arsenal fan, so I generally get inundated with Arsenal shit. But I think they're kind of moving all right. I think Zinchenko's a good signing. I think Jesus is a good signing. I think for what they need, I think Zinchenko is really good signing for what they need. I feel like they need right back cover. Obviously he can do that. He can do right wing cover. He can do midfield cover. So yeah, like I definitely feel that was a good one. And like I said, Jesus as well. I feel like him and Eddie and Ketty I might actually bang. Yo, you're not laughing, but I reckon Eddie's gonna do bits.
The comment just.
Oh shit. Right, but yeah, like, what are you thinking? What's going? The LFC fans' agenda against Joe is weird. His goal record since he came to you is insane. He does his job, scores in big games. What's the problem? Not everyone is Benzema, Kane, or Prime Bobby.
Facts. 100%. Like, bruv, I rate Joe, innit?
Ras,
who am I rating?
Ras. Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. Like, stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's a tough one. I think Zinchenko's a good buy. I think Jesus is as well. I think Tottenham have done well. I mean, look, I think Tottenham, whether you agree with the names or not, they've addressed all the positions that they had to. Yeah. They needed a centre-back, they got a centre-back in. They needed a right-back, they got a right-back in.
Left-footed centre-back as well.
Left-footed centre-back, they got it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they needed a midfielder, they got a midfielder in. They needed, and they've been screaming it for ages, they need someone to back up Kane. They need a Kane number 2. Like, do you know what I mean? A number 2 in charge that can compete with Kane. They've managed to go and get that. So they've addressed, whether you agree with the players or not, they've addressed every position. Whose business am I rating the most, though? Or who's been the signing? I think Chelsea, someone's alluded it. Chelsea's done all right. I think this is a big season for Sterling because Sterling, this is his franchise now, innit? You know how like we watch basketball and that? This is his thing now, innit? This is the equivalent of KD going to the Nets, innit? This is your thing now. Show us you're this world-class player. Take them to the promised land because you've always done it. You've never been the main man at a team. At Liverpool, you weren't the main man, 100%. And at City, you defo weren't the main man. Defo weren't the main man. So now this is your team. We're looking at that Chelsea, and he's the face of Chelsea. So you got to do your business.
But do you think he's still the main man there? Do you not think that they're still in? They're still on the lookout for like an out and out number 9.
No,
obviously.
I think
they're gonna.
I think they're gonna go in with Havertz in that false 9 position. I think Tuchel likes the way they play. I think he likes, not in terms of he might not go and get you the goals, but it's that similar to Bobby thing. It's that the whole team works really well, because you saw it when they try to play Tammy Abraham there before, it didn't really work. Lukaku, when he played there, doesn't really work. And we saw it. I think Havertz, when you've got your Havertz, your whoever it was, Mount, Ziyech, now Sterling, because they're able to rotate like that, I think Tuchel likes it a lot. So, I mean, we'll have to see. But regardless, I still think he's their main man. I think he's come in as their main. He hasn't come in as like, he's at the
no, I know what you mean.
He's coming as the main man, innit? He's coming like, cool, you're replacing. Do you know what I mean? We got rid of Lukaku, who was the main man last year. He didn't bang. So you're coming in for that position. Like, that's what are you saying? What are you saying essentially? They got obviously Koulibaly and Koundé, apparently. Koundé's
Koundé's done in it apparently. So I think that is pretty good replacements for, like Assad said, that's pretty good replacements for Rudiger and Christensen. Man of acting like Koulibaly is top 3 Premier League defenders in the, like, all I'm saying is take time, and he ain't kicked a ball in the league. He comes with a mighty good reputation, and I rate him, but take time. Man have to do it in the league. We said the same thing about Varane. Thing about Varane, bro. But I've been told them before. I said, brother, relax. Like, take time, innit? But no, I do think that's a good acquisitions for them. No, and I'm not even trying to thingy, but a lot of Chelsea fans, and I know big Assad because he's in my camp when I say this, all jokes aside. A lot of Chelsea fans are like, oh, but he didn't have, it's not his team. He hasn't, do you know what I mean? He hasn't been given the attacking line that he wanted and all of that. So this season, obviously, that's why if he's gonna, he likes the way, like if we're going off what you said, he likes the way they play. He likes Havertz. He's going to keep Havertz. That's who he wants. Sterling's the main attacking focus. Calm. They've got reinforcements in what they needed in the back. They didn't have that. They were losing them. They've got them now. I still think that they still need to sort out that midfield, innit? I don't understand why they're not stronger links with Frankie de Jong. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why have you not gone and copped him? Like, it just, bro, it just doesn't make any sense. What are you doing all this? Hey, Assad, get in the comments and let me know what's going on with all this ball tickling. Pause. Like, with like, why are you not just going in on some like? Frankie de Jong is exactly, he don't want Man United, they're dead. He's like, nah, bun them. So it doesn't make any sense. And Barca are bending over. Like, I beg you, like, please. You know, like that. You're going back to your thing. Yo, this ain't a thing where it's like, yo, please. I'll come with you now. Yo, big man. Let me think about it. Let me think about what's going on. And you've got an aging Kante and you've got Cover who needs help. Do you know them ones there? Like,
what are they gonna rely? They're gonna have to rely on Ruben Loftus-Cheek in midfield at the moment, innit?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Back. But again, it's the same with the Klopp thing, innit? Because you've got an American owner who seems like he's ready to get you any and everything you want. So if you go into the season with what you've got, I'm taking it as that's what you think is sufficient in order for you to do your job. So should there be more? I'm looking at, why is there not especially after this season, are we not looking at Tommy Tuchel like, yo, there should be a Premier League charge, no? Really and truly, there should be a Premier League. Yeah, like you won the Champions League, bruv. This is what I'm saying. There's a little bit of trepidation when I say that. Man are like, oh yeah, but not like
there should be. There should be.
Bro.
That team is not too different from the team that won. Yeah, they lost the defense, but if Chelsea fans, I'm not you outside, but you're talking about Koundé's all worldly and Koulibaly's the best centre back, then you actually upgraded. You've upgraded.
That's what I'm saying.
So
this is what I'm saying. Like, it don't make any sense. Like, Christensen he weren't really rated like that. Do you know what I mean? You've gone for 2 highly rated guys. So let me know in the comments, Chelsea fans, what you man are saying in it. See, Richarlison is a good signing. Yeah, it's not a bad signing. It's not a bad signing for the position in which they needed it. They didn't need, obviously. I think they've got one of the best front three in the Premier League, if not Europe at the moment. So they just needed some addition to that. And I think Richarlison is an expensive addition to that.
And Moura as well. We forget about him.
Yeah, that's true.
That forward line, it does look very, very like they could go and rotate easily, and you won't look at that and be like, "Oh, it's really bad." Like they could have Moura instead of Kulusevski, and you're not looking at the team saying, "Oh, Moura's rubbish." You're like, "Oh, okay." Or they could have Son on the right, and if Son's out injured, they've got Richarlison and Kane and Kulusevski, and they've got strength and depth. 100%.
The shithousery as well that Richarlison brings is scary. You know them ones there, because Tottenham haven't often been that team. Yeah, like you know them ones that he'll do anything. Like, and it's like, I don't really. It's my Spurs' window is so overhyped. They're Conte and inshallah take Conte out and they don't make top 4. But that's a big if. That's why no one ain't sitting here rating. I think that's Assad. I think that one is the most obvious, bro. No one don't rate Tottenham like that, bro. Like, I think people pretty much come out and say that. Without Conte, they're anything. You know them ones there, but unfortunately, they do have him. You know them ones there. So
they got to win as well, and they've got to win in the next 2 seasons, if not next season, because otherwise they're finished. Conte's going to leave. The next manager's going to come in. He's going to be like, "I've got an aging Perisic. I've got these men at the back that I don't rate. Longley was on loan. Like it starts to look very, very, very mad, very mad." So, yeah, man.
Oh, what? Pulisic ain't doing it, yeah? No, apparently they're looking at a right wing, innit? Any names been linked? I know, bro. Sammy, I know KD catching strays on the Liverpool stream. He just can't get a break, bro. Just relax. It's funny. I was talking to my next brethren, and my guy's so dismissive of his rings, but it's like, nah, they're Curry's rings. I'm like,
I'm a Bucks man, innit? I'm a Bucks man, so for me,
KD's
yeah, not innit? KD's the up
from a couple. Yeah, he's the up, bro. He's the up. You're a straight Greek freak and that. You know, like that. I'm getting sick of Havertz, to be honest. This is a big season this is a massive season for Havertz. There's a lot of man on forward watch, you know, and Havertz, I think, is definitely up there. I think you man are looking to get rid of Werner. A lot of man that Chelsea don't want, but they can't get rid of because the wages are mad. So it's a bit. We'll have to see what goes on there. There's someone else that I think I heard. What other bit of transfer news did I hear today that I was like, oh, okay. Obviously, the Samaka thing that man said.
The West Ham,
the West Ham. That's good because they definitely need. And it's what's your thoughts on the Jesse Lingard thing?
I think on paper it's a good signing for Forest. I think they're getting a Prem-proven player. He's played Euros, World Cups. Yeah, I mean, like, it's experienced player. It does give me a bit like some shades of QPR back in the day. Remember when they used to splash on all the man and it's never worked out?
It never worked.
They've splashed a lot, so we'll have to wait and see. I think it's a bit mad that he's on 200 bags a week, though. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Like, he's not that good. Like, he's not worth £200,000 a week. Like, he's just not. He's not.
Can I ask you, from his point of view, why would you go to Forest on a year when you could have gone to West Ham on you would have had 3 years worth of, but that doesn't make any sense because you're going to go for it 200 bags and then they get relegated, or 3 years worth of Premier League football at 150 bags.
But the problem is that he's probably thinking, cool, I'm not guaranteed. That West Ham team's harder to break into, yeah. It is harder to break into because it's a better team.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee I'll be there for the full 3 years or whatever because I could get shot in 2 years or in next season because I'm really bad. If he does well at Forest, he's now in a position. You see how these NBA men are, where it's like, I've got an option in. It's like, if I'm good, they're going to want me again, so they're going to sign me up again. I can now negotiate a better wage bracket because you've signed me on 200 now. If I'm good, I can be at 220, 220. If I'm bad anyway, that's fine because I can still go to a next team. There's going to be another team that's going to try pick me up, and I'm going to get all the P again because there's no transfer fee. I'm on a free. So he might go on 150 bags, but he's going to get a big signing on fee and all of that type of stuff. He's just for money, man. He's for money. Yeah. He's got no ambitions of being like a top player. Like he hasn't, man. Clearly.
So ultimately, it's not a great signing for Nottingham Forest then.
But it is because if he bangs, if he does well, if he replicates what he did for West Ham in that like loan spell, then that's a good good signing for Forest. Because
ultimately that was a better team, though. You said, remember?
Yeah, no, it was a better team, 100%. But maybe this is his time to shine in it. Maybe he's I don't know. Maybe
he can be the big fish in a smaller pond.
Exactly. So time will tell. So on paper it looks good, but I don't know. I'm not too convinced on Lingard, innit? I'm not his biggest fan. So.
No, neither am I. I think this is both Assad and Sammy both said this. Tuchel's a great cup manager. He ain't built for the league football like that. I kind of agree, and I think that's what Assad's trying to say as well. Tuchel's team now, he's only made 2 signings of his own. Yeah, cool, but look at his team though, bro. Like, look at what he started off with. I'm not having that, bro. You know them ones there. Like, come on. And he had Havertz and them people like. Generational talents. Like, come on, man. You didn't take over, do you know what I mean? West Brom. Right. Let me see if there's any other. He's not on 200,000. What's he on? I'm pretty sure he is.
You're pretty sure he is?
No, I'm pretty sure he is, man. They were. They're not now, I wouldn't say. I think West Ham would probably be the bigger club. I hear what you're saying in terms of like history and legacy and that. I hear all of that. But yeah, if there's anything else, what any other transfer news that you wanna talk on before we get out of here that you heard on?
I think just quickly, Barca. How are they doing what they're doing,
bro?
They're taking the mick,
bro. Bandulu, bro. And do you know what it is? Yeah. How are they? I've said this before, bro. Like, they're the man, yeah. They're saying they've got on the mic at the rave, turned the whole music down, off. You know, like, yeah. Hey, listen, you lot, listen. All the gal them, listen to me, yeah. Listen, man, yo. I used to be the man, like, you know them ones there, but now I don't. It's not that in it. I ain't got no wit. Like my yard, I live with my Marjays because I just had to let, like, you know the ones there. Look at this mansion. Look at it. Yeah, it's not mine no more. You know the ones there. Man's living in my mansion. Man used to have the 9 inches, pause, but now it's shrunk a little piece. You know them ones there. Like, man really can't even say. That's me, you know. And he's got all the piffest thing in the rave, like, oh my God, holla at me, 077. Like, you know, like that. Man's like, yo, listen, I need you, man. Yo, you see the girl that I walk out of here with, yeah? You better have peace for the cabinet, because, like, man ain't really got it like that. They're like, yeah, say nothing. I got Uber. How are they still drawing? I don't understand this, bro. Like,
drawing top quality talent with no bread.
Bro, they openly, it's not even like we ain't got bread. We're getting, man. Don't have the bread to even announce them. And man, are still on
Snapchat. Have you seen it? The Snapchat filters in
you're taking a piss, bro. You're taking a piss, bro. Man, I'm coming in the rave like this. I got no peas. I'm dead food, and all the gal are like, yo, get me his number.
It's the clout. It's that Barcelona clout. Bro, when the thing's heard, no, but that's my man from Ends though. Yeah, but that's still my man though.
Oh, Lewandowski, Rafi, like big, like they still, bro. How are they able? Dembele saying, "Nah, you man," then they still keep him. What's going on? What kind of
they still got De Jong. As it stands now, De Jong's still a Barca player. Let's not forget that as well.
They're keeping 17, bro. They don't know how much, man. They owe PK P's. They owe De Jong P's. What's going on here? Man, know this. And they're still like, oh my days, bro.
Imagine your job owing you peas, though. Imagine you coming to work like, where's my money?
Bro, if my job owed me £17.50, yeah, I'll be on their neck. Let alone 17 mil. Are you dumb, bro? Hey, are you mad? I'll be on their neck, bro. I'll be at HR, yeah, every day.
That's a £17.50. Like,
are you crazy?
I need my score, like, yeah.
Brother, you know, like that. Like, trust me, these guys crazy. It's crazy. Chelsea are only just wiping the sweat from their brow from getting Koundé because man was still doing a but. How have they still got the pool, bro? Like, it just don't make any sense. But yeah, man, it is what it is, bro. It's crazy. But listen,
a quick one before we go.
Yo,
just to go and show them, man. There it is. Hold on. 200K, my guy.
There you go.
There
you go. No, sign a 1 year deal, 200K. Told you. Yeah, I knew it was.
Just confirming it, making sure we're not blaspheming. We're not talking rubbish. So.
Yeah, bro, big co-op, brother, bro, and bro, crazy, and they already hooked up the last package, you know, like that, and man still getting big weight. Yeah, just it's outrageous. It's outrageous, you know. Listen. Can't hate them, hate the game, innit? The thing about Barca is for a lot of players, it's a dream to play for Barca. Let's be honest, we can laugh at Barca, but for players to still go there means that Barca is still a powerhouse in football. That's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what I'm pretty much trying to say. Like, look how much of a powerhouse they are, because look how fuckery they're acting. Look at the madness that, bro, they've got next man moving into next man's yard without them knowing. Like, they're moving brazy, and they still just got that pull. It's crazy. But in all honesty, though, if they keep going the way they are, I don't think they're going to exist in like 3 years, man. I'm not even going to lie, bro. They're going to run themselves into the ground. It's crazy. But yeah, listen, just had to come back with a quick one, little light one, you know, little roundup show. And thank you, my guy, Jerry, without a doubt. Like, listen, smashed it today. Much appreciated. Thank you for coming on.
Listen, it's a pleasure being on, man. Good vibes, good energy. Chat was goated as always. So big up everyone, man.
Come on, Assad, that guy with the Canada Goose, brother, and it's hella fake, bruv. And he's got eviction letters, and he's still got a baddie, bro. Baddie.
all the designers are in a black bin bag.
Brother.
You know, on the floor, then one's there.
And he's got the baddie holding the bin bag, bro. You're like, what's going on here? Like, nah, big up Barca, man. They're sick, bro. They're sick. And their rebuild of Javi is also good to see. Yeah, nah, I hear that. Yeah. It's true, man. It is. But come on, salute the man them each and every time. Salute the chat. Salute everyone that's been in here, everyone that watches on a replay. Please continue to hit them likes on your way out. It really, really, really helps. Subscribe if you haven't. And then make sure you go over to the Jerry James Show and subscribe to my brother as well. Like I said, full of knowledge. And keep your eyes open for the show that I'm going to put together with him, Roms, and a couple other man that is, it's going to be real informative, man. You know them ones. Still, hey, this colorism thing, yeah, mad thing, but it's a bit mad, you know. But nah, come on, big up Assad each and every time. But yo, listen, it's been another one. Hope you lot have a very good and safe weekend. It's been Saint LFCTV with your boy Jerry. Jerry, you got anything to say before we out?
No, just I said big up everyone. Please obviously smash the like on Saint's video. Yeah, just check me out, man. Check me out. Like, hit me up on the socials, on the Jerry James Show. Trust me, I don't bite. Like, it's all love, it's all good. So like I said, everyone in the chat and stuff, that you guys treat Saint. I mean, he's the OG, he's the GOAT in this. So obviously, if I can get a portion of that, I'm so grateful. But guys,
and
appreciate it.
You've been here. You heard what you got to say. He knows what he's talking about, man. So go over there and run up the likes and run up the subs for me, man. Everyone, we're out. Have a good one. Boom.